So the body of Abigail Frederick has been exhumed from the shallow grave by the river banks where she was buried and taken home to her family where she was given a proper burial. Abigail Frederick was one of the 6 people who lost their life in the Annam boat accident in Asaba during a movie production. She was said to be the makeup artist who died alongside popular Nollywood actor Junior Pope. Her body was one of the 3 bodies that were recovered from the river the next day after the incident. But by the situation of the fact that her people could not come up with the money for the said ritual, at the time her body could not be given to her parents, so it had to be buried in a shallow grave by the river banks. However, though, after the governor of Akwa Ibom State paid a visit to her family, to her parents, consoled them, he then ordered that her body be recovered from the river banks in Asaba and brought back home for proper burial. And after the governor of Akwa Ibom State made that promise to the parents that she'll be brought home for burial, the next day it happened that her body was eventually recovered and brought home. Now, what we don't know is if the governor of Akwa Ibom State did the ritual that, was required of her to be sent back home. Remember, the reason why she along with the others were kept by the river banks was because, according to the tradition of the community where she drowned, anyone who dies in the river is meant to be buried near the river so that certain curses or certain calamities may not befall the victim's generation. And since the community hold that belief in high standard, and people tried to raise money to get the 2 cows and some other things for the community or for the ritual, and they could not do it, she was kept there. But now that her body has been returned home, we are not certain. We don't know how much was paid. We don't know if the 2 cows were given to the gods of the people to perform the ritual. We don't know if the governor of Akwa Ibom State did all of those things. But we also have to put in mind that it's not as if the people are holding the body hostage. I did some research, and according to some people who are aware of the practice, they said the loved one can take the body, but they have to be aware of the consequences of not performing those rituals. So it's up to who believes in it or who doesn't believe in it. And so we don't know if the governor of Akwa Ibom State believed so much in it. It is possible he just provided for the logistics. It is possible he just said, hey, you better bring our daughter back home because we are not about that life. It is also possible that he did the appropriate thing, because I'm thinking now that the governor is involved, it won't cost much to buy 2 cows and pay the people who helped recover her body and who helped care for it, not really care for it, who helped keep it in their land till whenever they were ready to send her home. So it's possible he did all of those things, and I want to believe he did it. Another good thing that we can hold on to is the fact that knowing that Abigail was the breadwinner of her family, the only one to graduate in her family, and the one whose job is taking care of her family, and now she's dead, there is no one to fill her spot. But we now know that the governor of Akwa Ibom State has promised to, take care of her family. They have promised to renovate her parents' house. They've promised to send her siblings to school for free, and also promised to probably give them money to take care of themselves or start a business or something. And it's hopeful for the most part. I think it's something that she would have appreciated, given how much she showed and shared her relationship with her father and her mother, which is clear that she was in good terms with them. And so this is something she would have wanted. And it's something that people can hold on to, I think, for the most part. Now, for the other victims, we don't know what is going to happen with their remains. We don't know if they will remain by the riverbanks. We don't know if their family has made arrangements to have them brought back to their various homes for proper burial. We don't know. Even for Junior Pope himself, we don't know what is happening with him yet. The last we heard is that he also would have to make the sacrifice. His family also would have to do the ritual before they could receive his body for proper burial. But again, it's almost as if his own case is different. Like we've already established, for the other victims, we were hearing all 3 of the victims that were recovered on that day would have to just do 2 cows for the ritual and something like that before they can be sent home. But for Junior Pope, we're hearing that he alone his ritual would cost higher than the others, because I don't know why. This is why most times certain traditional practices are questionable when it's not on a even playing field. How can the ritual for the other victims, all three of them, require less than his, who was also a victim of the same drowning incident? I don't know. I don't know. No one has come to clarify if it's the same thing. No one has come to clarify anything regarding it. We don't know if, is every man for himself or everybody for itself, or if the ritual is for every one of them. We don't know. But we'll keep you posted. We're still following the story. We're here to see how it develops. So make sure you are subscribed and make sure you're following us and turn on your notification button so whenever there is a new video, you'll be the first to get notified.